How's it
You
going?
ready?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to get started, everybody. I'm going to let Faisal totally take over this slideshow. Faisal is the onboarding director for our agency. He onboards every product we do: Google Ads, Facebook Ads, AI voice agent, websites. I'm probably missing something else, Faisal, right?
Alice.
Yeah, there you go.
Alice.
LSA ads. So he's very knowledgeable in all the products that all of us sell. And he's the one who streamlined our entire onboarding system, how we're able to onboard clients sometimes same day as they get sold. So it really depends on a couple different factors, which he'll go over.
Maybe one more over.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, you guys are able to see the screen?
Everybody got Faisal's screen? Thumbs up if you can see his screen. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mark, what's up, buddy? All right, my man. Take over.
Great. Welcome to a meeting, Google Ads School. This is Rob's Google Ads School. Smarter campaigns, better ads. So we'll get started. Today's meeting is the interview that Rob will take of me, which is what we are doing right now. So introducing myself. Hi, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you guys are. I'm Faisal Iqbal. I'm the director of onboarding at Clicks Geek, Rob's awesome digital marketing agency. We help small and medium-sized businesses like yours grow with services like Google Ads, Facebook Ads, websites, and even AI call assistants now. I'm super excited for Rob, who has asked me to join today to talk about how we make onboarding fast, smooth, and effective for our clients as well. So we can dive in. First of all, a little about me. I've always loved creating, editing, video editing, graphic designing. Back when I was 18, I even wrote and published my first novel from Amazon, and they have published that novel in over 170 plus countries. So it was a huge honor for me as well. My digital marketing, however, the journey of digital marketing started in 2021, thanks to Rob and Ed, who taught me everything about Google Ads, marketing, sales, everything. They've taken me under their wing, and they've taught me everything from 2021 all the way even today. So now, as digital director of onboarding at Clicks Geek, my mission is pretty much simple: to make the onboarding process as quick and efficient and set up for success. We want all of our clients to get the best out of Google Ads, Facebook Ads, websites, whatever they are onboarded by us. We want to represent our company as one of the best agencies out there in the world. So that's what we are all about at Clicks Geek. We take every project as our own project, and we give it our 100%. And here's our big promise. Basically, this is what we came up last year, and this is a promise that I came up from my side, and that is your campaign will launch by tomorrow morning. That's a huge promise that we make to our clients. We can even by setting that example, by setting that expectation, we sometimes onboard them within the day. So why is that so important, right? So it's mainly because speed saves time and also helps us drive results as well, right? So we can give them the delivery of their campaign up and running within 24 hours. And that brings us with the industry leading efficiency as well. So for example, our highlights for Google Ads specifically, that is done in 4 to 5 hours. Most agencies take around 3 to 5 days. Some can take up to 2 weeks. But we as Clicks Geek can do a whole Google Ads onboard up and running within 4 to 5 hours, which is unheard of. Same way with Facebook ads, we can do it under 3 to 4 hours. And with websites, we do it within 2 to 3 hours. So that's the kind of speed that you really don't hear within the industry. And we can do it without even cutting any corners. And the reason for that is our incredible team. Rob and Ed have developed a really intelligent and talented team that I have the privilege of leading. So we have our own landing page designer, we have our own keyword specialist, we have our own optimization specialist. So we all have different departments within our agency that helps streamline the entire process, and we can do everything really quickly. One more thing is that we go by our we studied a little bit of Japanese workflows, and they do the same thing in Japan as well, where they have systems in place in their factories. And once a product is finished in one system, it goes on to the next. So we almost mimic that same entire process, which is that if we finish the landing page, then we go ahead with the Google Ads. If the landing page is not finished, we do not start building the Google Ads itself. That helps us streamline the entire process, no matter if it is in Google Ads, Facebook Ads, or websites. Now, if you guys have any questions, you can always let me know in the chat, but also we can have a question and answer session at the end of this call as well. So how does my onboarding workflow actually look like, right? So how do we actually do it? How have we developed this process to be simple and to be streamlined? So I will break this whole workflow down for you in 4 stages. The first stage is whenever we get a client, we try to understand what that client goal is. So our sales specialist, our sales director gives us some kind of an understanding of what that client is and what are their goals. And then from that, we can understand what kind of a niche that is that client operating in, what are the requirements of that client, do they need a website, what kind of landing page do they need, all of that. We review the entire business and we look at what kind of audience is that client really in that can help us benefit that campaign for them, right? Secondly, once we have discovered everything, we have aligned everything with our automations, and then we go ahead with the stage two, which is the setup process. In this stage, we go ahead and create different kinds of accounts for them. We look into all of the campaigns that we have already created. We have already created a lot of niche ad groups and campaigns, which are housed in our systems. So the reason of that is that it cuts the time significantly when we just take that pre-built campaign and we just drop it in the client's accounts. That fastens the whole process significantly. Plus, we know that from our industry leading tests that we have done previously with many different kinds, we know what works and what doesn't work, right? So we already have that policy in mind, and we try to deploy that policy immediately whenever we know what kind of a niche it is in. For example, if it's a plumber client, we already have pre-built plumber pages that we know that work. We have pre-built plumber campaigns that we know that work, what kinds of assets work in that. We know what kind of site links work in that, what kind of calls, assets work in that. So we already have all of this industry leading knowledge that we can deploy immediately whenever we understand that it's a plumber client. So we do that immediately, and then we start installing trackings. So we have different kinds of trackings. For Google Ads, it's a totally different kind of tracking setup. For Facebook Ads, it's a different kind of tracking setup. So all of our talented team members already understand all of these tracking patterns, and they can attach these tracking patterns into their correct placements. And then finally, once we have set up that campaign, once it goes live, then we also do a lot of keyword research beforehand to understand what kind of a client it is and what type of ad groups we really need to deploy into that campaign. For example, if it's a ceramic coating auto detailer, we know that he is actively looking for ceramic coating. So what we are going to do is that we already have pre-built ceramic coating ad groups with keywords which are highly performing, and we already deploy it inside that clone campaign. So immediately when the campaign goes live, once approved from the client, immediately those ads start serving the ceramic coating searches. So just like that, we have different ad copies for different niches. We have ad copies for different ad groups. We have a whole system that gives out the entire campaign right to the dot for what the client is actually looking for. On top of that, we also test and refine as well. It's not like one campaign is done and we don't touch it at all and we just let it run for a long time. There are cases where that is done, but on many different cases, what we do is that we test and refine continuously, which is what our clients really love. So we test out different ad groups, we test out different campaigns. We even like sometimes what happens is, let's say 3 months pass by and a campaign is not really performing really well. Then we sit down and we scratch everything off the board and we try to develop the entire campaign from the go. So it's totally blank. We start researching again. We see what's the issue that's actually bringing them back. Sometimes, usually, it's always the landing page that we always redefine and have a lot of A/B tests happening on those landing pages. But some of the times it's the ads itself. Some of the times in Facebook, it's the ad set that's happening, or maybe it's the whole targeting that we are doing in Facebook that's not working. So we always test and refine which our clients really love, and that always helps us boost our rate.
So let me jump in real quick. So guys, this kind of tees up with what I've talked about in previous videos, where if you find a campaign for a client and a landing page that's giving you a really good conversion rate and it's steady, that you should take that and replicate that exactly. You don't have to rewrite, everything all over again and do it for our next client. Take that, roll it out for the next client, exactly the same, all the same keywords, all the same ads, the exact same landing page, swap in the new client's name. And if it works there, it's most likely going to work everywhere. So then you have a template, and you need that template if you want to onboard this fast. If you're constantly redoing everything, every single onboard that comes in, which we used to do like 10 years ago, it took forever to get the system built out. This is how you're able to onboard with speed, is because you already have all the assets you need. The only thing, Faisal, we don't have is the hang up for Facebook is the images, right? Because that's custom to each. But we are working now for clients who can't get us images that we need, because we need specific types of images. If they don't have them, we're using AI now to generate the images, and it's actually working really well. And you can't even tell it's not a real person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because
Pretty
of the
wild.
new journey and the new image gen from Google, we have tried out the AI images as well, and it is working out really well. But we always prefer that clients give out their actual photos, actual work that they're actually doing on the job, because those work out really well on Facebook as well, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Going forward, the last stage is when everything is all together, we run a long validation check. It is checked by 3 different candidates. And the reason for that check is that we need to make sure that everything is on the spot and Clicks Geek standard, because we hold ourselves responsible for any mistake that happens. Of course, we are all human, so of course there are mistakes sometimes, but most of the time, 98% of the time, we are always perfect in our onboardings. Our landing pages always are to the spark, and our campaigns go live immediately once the client approves them. So in the launch stage, the client has to go through the whole campaign as well to make sure everything is on the spot, so that later down there's no changes that we want to make immediately once we hit the bid learning stage. And then finally, once the campaign goes live, we start monitoring performance. Immediately when the campaign goes live, we have different stages already set up. So the onboarding is all complete. Then we go into the optimization stage. We have our own optimization checklist, a whole robust checklist built by Rob himself, that helps all of the optimizers to understand what kind of a campaign it is. We give them all of the knowledge beforehand so that they don't have to start searching here and there about what to do and what not to do. We have a whole training for them already that they always revise and learn new trainings from as well. And that helps them monitor performance really well for campaigns. And as they do, in a day, they can go around from 20 all the way to 50 optimizations. Just like that, sometimes some clients require less optimizations, sometimes they require more optimization. So it really depends on different clients and different niches and different campaigns. But that is usually how the workflow goes around in one campaign. Now,
Let me jump in one more time. One more time, I promise. Last time, I promise. Because this is important. This is important for all of you guys watching. When you get to a point where you're ready to hire out an optimizer to do the campaigns for you, they have to understand if it's a Google Ads problem or a landing page problem, and how to use discernment on which way to go with that. Okay. So you want an SOP. All right. If it's to determine if it's a Google Ads problem, do this, this, and this. Okay. The traffic's good and everything else's metrics are hitting. This most likely then is a landing page problem, because all the traffic from Google is very clean. It's very good. It's exactly what the client wants, but it's not converting, or it's converting way too high. Anything like that, then it becomes the other side, which is a landing page problem, which you have to go into A/B testing and all of that stuff. And that's a whole other optimization piece of this as well, with its own SOPs and its own, first you do this, then you do that. Like previous videos, I've showed you guys how we do it in stages. Sorry,
Right.
I'm done interrupting you. I promise. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. The reason of optimization that Rob said with different sets is that you have to treat each account specifically. You can't treat them all as one, right? So for some campaigns, it must be a landing page problem that you need to do. For some, it might be the Google Ads problem. So you need to tackle each of them individually, and the optimizer needs to understand all of that and needs to be knowledgeable on all of these different aspects so that they can highlight and tag what kind of a problem it really is. On the onboarding side, the tools that we use are a lot of different tools. So we have separated each of them into their own category. For Google Ads, for example, the best tools that we use is that we rely heavily on Google Ads Editor. So we are on the top to all of its trainings and how to use it and how to optimize it to our workflow. We also use the Google Ads interface. Previously, we had to do all of it without the Google Ads Editor, but ever since the Google Ads Editor came in around in the 20s, in the 2019 and around 2020, it updated its software really well so that we can do the entire campaign build out and onboarding within it itself. For landing pages, we use Instapage, and we have our clones already set up inside of Instapage so that we can onboard a client really fast within it. For domains, we use our own domains. We do not let the clients use their domains because usually it lengthens our time of onboarding. We've seen in the past that once we use the client's domain, they did not know how to set up the DNS properly, or sometimes they don't have access to it. So that's why we suggest that we use our own domains, and that cut our onboarding time significantly. For call tracking and all of the call scenarios, we use our own platform, which is the call rail platform. With that, we can generate phone numbers for them. We can generate our own tracking numbers as well. And that helps us to keep track of all of the calls as well. That way, we know that if a call actually came in or not, so that we can build that trust with the client as well. And for reporting, most importantly, we use Swido reporting. Swido has been very generous to us, and we've been direct with Swido so that they can host all of our campaigns and also send out reports as well for each campaign in its integrity. Plus, we also join our reports with the Google Ads campaign. We join it with CallRail. We join it with Instapage. So the CallRail report, the Swido report, sorry, has all of the information that is sent out to the client. So the client really doesn't need to go into Google Ads. They don't need to go into CallRail. They don't need to go to anything. They just will get an email weekly from us, from Swido, with our branding, which gives them all of the information that is necessary for a small to medium business owner. For Facebook, we use our Meta Business Suite. So that is the platform that we use for creating pages, for creating for Meta Ads accounts, and also building out entire onboards inside it. For GHL, we use it for pages and for other lead platforms so that we can connect it with Meta so that we can track all of our conversions inside of it. We also use Pixel inside of Meta so that we can keep our tracking. And finally, Swido, we use the same thing to track all of our leads, all of the information inside our Meta onboards so that we can present them to the client. And for websites, we built our entire beautiful looking websites inside of GHL. We have a wonderful website designer who has mastered GHL in its helm, and he can onboard basically every niche that is possible inside of GHL. Now, some of the questions that you might be wondering and is that what's the key to our fast onboarding, right? So like I said, speed is one of our huge factors, and we've deployed automation scenarios within each system. So immediately when an onboard comes in, when email comes in that we have booked a client, immediately it goes through many different stages, and automations happen within each stage that can fasten the process. Immediately, we have a landing page set up and built out. Because the domain is already bought, the landing page goes live instantly. Once the landing page goes live, we go ahead and deploy all of our tracking. We make sure all of the tracking is in place. The numbers are all good. Everything is connected. We build out a Google Ads campaign. We push that Google Ads campaign into their account. We make sure, validate everything is all good, everything is set, and then we send out an email to make sure that our campaign is live. The same way happens with Meta. Once a Meta onboard comes in, we just go through all of the scenarios of what all things we need to do. We push out the onboard into their own ads account. We make sure all of the tracking is in place. We get a confirmation from the client to know that the ads look good, the pictures are all good. Once the client confirms, the ad goes live. And same way for website as well. Immediately when an onboard comes in, we understand what's the niche. We already have pre-built templates that the client chooses. Once the client has confirmed that, we deploy that website, attach the domain, change up all of the names and logos and everything, and we get a confirmation from the client that the website is all good. Any changes that happens within it, we can just apply it directly into it within a few minutes, and the client is happy as well of how fast the service is. How do you handle client challenges? That's another question that you might be thinking. So there are many different challenges that sometimes happen within this onboarding process. Sometimes the domain doesn't deploy into that landing page. Sometimes the campaigns don't work. Sometimes you have Facebook not cooperating with us and the ads are not popping up, or maybe there's a issue in the ad manager or something like that. So what we do is that we let the client know, first of all, that there's some kind of an issue happening. We always keep the client in loop so that they understand as well what's going on, because that is very important. Otherwise, the client will be waiting and we will not be fulfilling our promise. So that is one thing, and we always take everything as it comes. So if it's a domain problem, we always talk to the domain provider, we talk to GoDaddy, and we talk to Instapage. And usually, most of the time, the customer service helps us a lot into fulfilling those challenges immediately. Yes, Rob, you were saying?
No, nothing.
Okay. Favorite success story from our onboarding. This is pretty recent. I have a lot of stories that happen with each onboard. Rob's been very generous in guiding me as well into each of them. Sometimes we build an entire campaign and the campaign doesn't work at all. So we always go back. So this happened very recently with one of the plumbing pages. So the plumbing page was not that the one that we were using previously for years were working very well up until the last time we used it a couple of months ago. And then we sat down, we were like, what do we do? And then we suddenly tried to replicate another page that was working out really well. And once we did that, we saw a huge uptick in our plumbing campaign for one client, which was not working previously at all. And from that client brought in more than I would say 50 to 100 new customers from that. So that was one of a huge deal breaker, one of the huge success stories that I really love to share whenever it comes up. Now, tips for new business owners that are new to ads. The biggest tip I would say is to just follow what Rob's saying. I wouldn't go against what he is providing, the knowledge that he's giving out. And
within reason.
within reason, of course. The tutorials that he's giving out, I would get started with that. And then, of course, I would love to tell you that you should always experiment. Experimentation will always lead you to giving out outcomes, which even you wouldn't understand. Nobody can tell you if the ads are going to do really well or they are not going to do really well. In the end, even I don't know if the campaign is going to work out really well for that client or not. We always experiment, we always test. And in the end, from all of those testing, we can always understand how the campaign goes about. Awesome. Now, finally, this is the last one, I promise. Why our onboarding rocks? So again, speed. Our Google onboards are within 4 to 5 hours. Facebook is 3 to 4, and websites are 2 to 3. Quality is maintained, so we always tailor it to your business. So whatever onboardings we make, it always aligns with your business, how your website looks, and we always try to match your colors as well of whatever color of your business is. And we have experts set up, no guesswork. We're not guessing our work. We always do it from our industry leading tests that we have done previously from many different niches. And the results, the campaigns is live by next morning. So immediately when the campaign goes up, you get an email that says that your campaign is ready, which even drives clicks and conversions fast as well. So within 24 hours, you can see your campaign go live and your ads are on Google as well. Thank you so much, guys, for attending this. And if you guys have any questions at all, please let me know.
That was awesome, man. Thank you so much for going through that. That was great. Does anybody have any questions based on any of that?
No, it sounds pretty straightforward. So I'm kind of new to GHL.
Mhm.
So it sounds like that's everything everything you're providing is based on that platform, which
A
gives
lot
you
of
the ability to use the snapshots and
Yeah, a lot
Right.
of the automations. Facebook is all GHL, right? Like every single client's GHL.
Mhm.
Google Ads is like 50-50. Some niches we only do GHL landing pages in, like a bunch of real estate, like real estate
Let
investors,
me ask you,
investors.
expand on that. When you say every Facebook is JHL, what do you mean by that? I mean, is it because
The automations. So
of the automations?
we run messenger funnels. Do you want to explain to Faisal how we run the funnels?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, what we've done is we have looked at all of the niches that Facebook onboards are usually going to be done, and we've built snapshots for each of them. Like, let's say, for example, it's a junk removal onboard. We have a pre-built snapshot for junk removal. It has all of the automations inside of it. It has all of the ready to build text notifications. Everything
Okay.
is inside of it. So immediately when we onboard Facebook ads junk removal onboard, we build the campaign and we connect it to that snapshot. We build another like a duplicate snapshot for that client, and in that duplicated snapshot, it's everything is ready to go, ready to be sent immediately, right? So
So
that basically is all it.
so so I envision, automations based on lead forms versus landing
Right,
pages. And so
right,
the landing pages are probably part of your snapshot
right,
already that you've already created. And you're saying you're coming up with your own domain to
right.
drive.
Yeah.
For Google Ads.
Google Ads, yes.
Okay.
Even for Facebook as well. So
Okay.
we already we use the client's name, like whatever the client's business is, and we don't use the .com one. We instead use .net or .co, and that helps us differentiate from the client's business website or whatever, because these
So
ads are not going to go directly to that. Yeah.
so you will typically just leave their website
Mhm.
as is. You're
Right.
bringing them in for
Oh, we don't touch
ad-hourly
it. No.
advertising and all that.
No.
Yeah. We don't.
We need if you want to onboard this fast, you have to have control.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
if you're waiting on cPanel access from people and
Yeah.
back and forths with emails with people who don't, aren't the
Yeah.
owner or it's a disaster. We learned this really early on. So we
Mhm.
started, and the way we sell it is like, looks like this is the program. You saw how it works. You saw we can give you results, right? From all the case studies and stuff like that. And they come to us, they're already warmed up, but like you can't argue with us. Like we've turned people down literally every day because they're like, no. Well, I got to use my thing. Like, well, you can't work with us then. Like, it is what it is. Like, go to down the street to whoever else, and because we have to control it, or we can't. We have a higher outcome of success for clients if we control everything versus having it taken out of our hands, and then it's just like, roll the dice.
So Sandy and I had a joint partnership. We didn't intentionally do it, but they said, "Hey, we have a CRM already. Can you integrate with that?" And it's like, let's just use GHL.
Yeah.
And said, so we
No,
got our own
there is,
CRM. This is the way it has to
uh,
work.
sorry, there is a workaround for that. You can have your own GHL, and that's what we do for some clients as well, that they have their own CRM and they want the leads to come to that CRM. So what we do is we zap them the leads. It comes into their CRM as well. But we
Makes
mainly
sense.
use our CRM, our GHL for the whole process.
So using Zapier is what you're saying.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
that you call Zap? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know we were doing that. That's awesome.
Thank you, guys.
For sure. Anyone else?
So I think I missed, did you say that you build dummy pages for Facebook?
Right. So we
For the-
already
for-
have, not dummy pages. They are basically landing pages.
Well,
They are ready to go. They just need they are custom value attached as well. So immediately when you onboard a new landing page, for example, you just change the custom values and the landing page automatically updates with the new name of the business, new logo, everything new. So that
Gotcha.
page automatically propagates with it.
And we do that for
Well-
HUP access, right?
Yes.
Yes, to get approved.
Yes.
so yeah, what I'm talking about though is like, how you're trying to get access to their Facebook page so you can run the ads from their Facebook page. Do you build a dummy Facebook page for them, or do you do you get access?
Most of the time we need their like I would say 100% of the time we do need their own Facebook account.
Okay.
But we do not need their Facebook page, because once we get access to the Facebook account, we can build our own dummy Facebook page so that we can track the leads. Sometimes we do come across connection issues with their Facebook page. So in order to just fasten that process, we just built a dummy page for them.
Right. Okay.
And connect that and give them access to that page so that they can get the information of the message and leads, whatever it is.
So they're really not posting on that page. They're okay.
No,
Gotcha.
it's just run for ads.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of off topic because you didn't present it, but what about feedback, reports, or do you do that? Do they care?
Yes. Swido reports do go out weekly and monthly. So every week they get a report from Monday to Sunday. Like for example, every Monday they get a report for that. And at the end of the month, the first of every month, they get a report of the 30 days. That reports really just gives them an idea of how many leads there were, what's the budget that they spent.
Cost per lead.
They call, cost per lead, just basic general information. You don't want to have too much information in that report, because then as much information as you're giving to the client will have as many questions as well. But you want to have it minimalized so that they just get just the basic idea of what's happening.
We essentially went into ChatGPT and said, make this report. What would you give somebody as a report to understand a 5th grade reading level? And that's the metrics that we give clients as it's the basic stuff, like how many leads, all right, how many of those leads were contact forms, how many of those leads were phone calls, what's the cost per lead, you know what I mean? Like just the basic things, not like impression shares and all kinds of stuff that open a can of worms and they're like, what the hell is this? This looks low. Don't even know what it is. And then it becomes a problem.
So what tools are you using to report that, or how do you automate it? Is that through GHL as well?
GHL reports we've tried in the past, but it usually isn't like customizable, especially for white label clients. So instead we use Swido. It's a reporting company that gives out reports. It hosts everything inside of it. I feel like Rob can mention the link.
Yeah, Swido is great. The only problem is they're expensive. Like at scale, they're really expensive. Like I think we pay like $1,500 a month right now with it, which is a lot.
That in your list there. I remember seeing.
Yeah, which is just too much money. But now it's kind of that situation like Instapage where we are handcuffed to them and we can't really go anywhere else because the volume we do and the amount of reports we need, it's expensive. So to move all that to save $100 doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There are many platforms out there which are free that you can use as well. Google Analytics, if you can understand and how to build that, that gives out free reports as well. Plus, there are other platforms as well that can do that. But if you go for the paid Swido option, you can use that as well. It's up to you.
So are you sending the data to that product and then it creates the reports and sends it out?
Yeah, there's an integration that happens. So you integrate to your MCC, your Google Ads, and then you connect it to that specific client.
Mark does. Mark, you still in here?
I think he left.
Did he jump? He does it with Google. Was it Google Studio or something like that? It's free.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to get him on. Maybe I'll have him do a video for you guys to show him how you set up the reports and have him go out when it's no cost. We honestly really should be doing that, but the thought of having to do that for that many reports is like makes me throw up.
Oh, would you be able to do the Facebook side of it as well?
I don't know. I mean, Mark runs Facebook ads, so I don't know how he does that for that, but I know for Google he does, and it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
So I'll have him make a video.
Be great. Thanks.
All right, guys, we have like 3 minutes left. Do you guys have anything else? All right, cool. Then we're gonna jump. And Faisal, thank you so much, man. That was awesome. I'm gonna chop this up and put it on YouTube. And everyone, have a great weekend. And that's all I got for you guys. So
thank you guys.
Thank you. See you.
All right, later. Bye.
Bye.